Welcome back to the channel. The title of the video may seem pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to explain it anyway because you guys should probably know me by now, and I'll explain paint drying if you'll let me. First off, this is a video about why me, quit being a PC gamer, and it's not a prescription for you, whoever you are out there. Also, because I quit, and I started thinking about this, the last PC game I bought before this one, I think was StarCraft BattleNet Edition, which would have been probably like in the late 90s or early 2000s. So it had been 20 years before I bought another PC video game or even tried to install one. So I understand that I was looking at this from maybe an old school perspective and was running into things that you would not have run into because you probably know more about what you're doing than I do, but this video is ultimately about me. Also, I know this video is going to be kind of long and probably pretty boring for a good number of you guys. I'm going to chunk it up down at the bottom so you'll see the actual issues I was having with getting this to install. And then at the end I ramble a little bit about some of my other history with PC gaming, but the long and short of why I walked away from PC gaming way back in the day is just because it's a huge pain. Now it seems it's the software companies that are screwing with you and giving you trouble, whereas back in the day it was all hardware issues. Like you would have a machine that ran just fine, but you would have one certain game that didn't like some IRQ setting or some memory address or whatever you were using, and you would chase that for like 2 days to get something to run, and it was just a huge pain in the ass, and it also used to be just monstrously expensive. And it got to the point where I could buy, and today this is still true, I can buy a brand new PlayStation for the cost of like one moderately good graphics card. So I just walked away from it. I thought after 20 years, maybe that would be better. And I think on the hardware side, it actually is quite a bit better. This video being a companion video to a video on my other channel where we did some gaming demonstrations on this really cheap Dell back here. I think I showed that is true, that for a couple $100 you can buy a surprisingly capable PC and play some modern-ish PC games now today. And once you learn what's going on, it's not that big of a deal to get them to run or anything else. What I would say now is that the plug-and-play we were promised with Windows 95 actually works today. It all seems to be going just fine. So instead what we have now is the software vendors are hamstringing you in various ways. You'll see later in the video that I had no clue that modern PC games, I'm going to assume it's not just Rockstar. Like I'm sure EA probably does it too. If you have a physical copy, they are just installation discs. You don't actually own the game. I own this game. I can sell my PS3 copy of GTA 5 over there to somebody else and they can play it and it'll be fine. You can't do this here. And I did not expect that going in. Back in the day, you would have had like a serial key that would have come with new software. But if you misplace that key, you could always contact the company and say, hey, you know, here's my UPC, my proof of purchase, and here's my discs, you know. I have the software, can you send me a new serial key? And I believe most of the time they probably do it. You've shown to them that you actually bought what you say you did. That's not the way it is anymore. So you've got that going on. Plus, it seems every company wants some sort of what I will say is intrusive spyware. Rockstar has mandatory sign-in with their Social Club app, which is part of their launcher. And it seems these launchers are becoming the common thing. I installed Fortnite from Epic Games. Epic Games has their own launcher that you have to use too, so they're going to be tracking you through that as well. Installed Minecraft. Minecraft requires your Microsoft account sign-in. You can be tracked through all that crap too. And I understand, especially a lot of the younger people have grown up in a society where all technology has been this way. You know, it's what the first iPhone is now like 11 years old. So we'll assume the average young teenager has grown up with a smartphone or a smart device in the house their whole lives. So this sort of signing your rights away to a company is just becoming the normal thing, but it's not the normal thing for me. Historically, consoles haven't been quite that draconian. At least PS3 and then, you know, later on PS4 have not required any kind of constant on internet, or I think any internet at all, to play the systems. You can't play them online, and they disable the online features, of course, if you don't have a Sony account or a PlayStation Network account. But that's fine. I'm an old man by YouTube standards. I don't have time to get good enough at these games to play online against people with a lot more free time to play the games get much better than I am. My demographic, we're almost always single-player campaign anyway. On the PC side, it looks like that's no longer an option at all. That thou shalt do these things or thou will not be able to buy a game that one paid $30 for. So again, I understand a lot of this stuff has probably been happening slowly over the years. It was new to me because I haven't tried it in 20 years. And that is why this video is why I don't do this and why I am probably not going to go this way. Just way too many hassles. The console gaming is just so much easier. 20 years ago, there was a solid argument to be made that the console games were, in fact, worse, which back then you could make that argument pretty well. Like playing an RPG on a console 20 years ago would be a fun experience, but you wouldn't get anything as involved as like the Elder Scrolls games, for instance, before Skyrim, were all PC exclusives. Just because so many menus to drop down through and everything, it would have been difficult to do on a console. And I think the console versions of Skyrim are possibly a little bit gimped, I'm not sure. But that argument existed many years ago. I don't think it's nearly as strong today. I think modern gaming consoles are pretty powerful. In fact, I know they are. The RDR2 on my PS4 is an amazing looking game. I've not yet played anything on a PS5 because there's really no software to draw me to one yet, but that's on the agenda. I'll end up owning a PlayStation 5 eventually, and I'll find out then. And I guess just for the record, this has kind of also had the accidental effect of making me somewhat of a console collector. Nowhere near like a lot of the people you'll see on YouTube, but I think I have like 13 or 14 consoles at this point. I have PlayStations 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have all the Sega consoles, I think, from Master System forward. So I have a Saturn, I have a Dreamcast, I have Genesis. I'm pretty light on Nintendo just because I couldn't afford this stuff when it was in period. And by the time I could afford it, I was kind of past that genre of gaming. So by the time I was, we'll say, of driving age, PlayStation 1 was the big deal, and people wanted to play Twisted Metal and games like that really weren't Nintendo's wheelhouse at the time. And then it was, 5 or 6 years later, Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, and then that was the wave we're all currently riding now with the success of Rockstar. So when I stepped off this train, I just totally abandoned it for 20 years. And although I have screamed at people, this is not a gaming PC, I know what my evolution of this project is going to be, and at the end of it, I'm going to have a PC that'll do anything I want. And that's mostly because I need the computer hardware for the channel. I'm going to need a pretty aggressive CPU and GPU combination to keep my YouTube interests alive and keep the channels growing. And just as part of that, I knew I would be doing some amount of PC gaming. So this was my first opportunity to get my feet back wet into the genre. And so far it's gone really badly, but at least now I know what to expect. For me, with the level of involvement these guys seem to want in your privacy, all those end user license agreements where you just sign your life away every time you log in just to play a game, I'm actually considering maybe a dual boot or even a second hard drive or something like that, and just have all the gaming stuff lie independent on that drive, where literally the only thing I do with that boot is play games, and then have my business things on the other. And that might be unreasonable or excessive, but I would kind of rather have the business things that I'm going to end up relying on to make money divorced from all of these things that are just for entertainment. Like if there's some glitch in some software update from Epic Games or Rockstar or Steam or whoever, and it should happen to take down the machine, that would be bad because I need to still be able to produce my work. Anyway, huge rambletron here at the beginning. You're going to see a whole bunch of bumbling around by a moron in the middle who has not done this in 20 years. So again, there's a lot of things there that you probably may think are obvious, but were not obvious to me. And then at the end, we'll talk a little bit about some of my other experiences. On to the show. Let's go ahead and begin the arduous task of installing the 7 GTA 5 DVDs. It's interesting that disc 1 didn't just light off and start installing. They didn't even fill up the whole first disc. GTA 5 ahoy. Yep. Sounds good? Yeah, sure. Okay, so it's going to be doing stuff for quite a long while into the future. Let's come back when it's all done, all rebooted, and everything's all settled in and happy. So it has been a couple hours now. GTA 5 takes forever to install. And it appears I have had an error. So I need to load the Visual C++ components manually, I guess, according to that error screen. I'll run as administrator just to see if that was maybe an issue. And if this is just the C++, then I can just download that and install it. But holy crap, Batman. Installation's taken a while. I'm wondering if the like 70 gig download for it would have actually been faster. It would not have been cheaper. So this is still going to be what we do. Anyway, we will catch back up when that time comes. And come to think of it, I'm sure it's going to want some updates because this is probably a version of the game from like 2015. Yep, copyright 2015 right on the disc. Well, that didn't take long and was no big deal. I'm not going to restart the computer. I'm just going to hit finish. Come back over to the Rockstar installer and say, okay. Yep, tons of updates coming. If it is only one 50 meg update, I will be shocked. I just wish it would do this all automatically like it does on a PlayStation. Like if I have to sit here and click OK to everything 5 times, I'm going to be kind of annoyed. Looks like thou shalt have an internet connection to have the game. So it looks like that's going to be a 1 gig download. Awesome. We will catch back up if anything different happens. It looks like it's installing other redistributables from that 2008. Oh, guess it wasn't a 1 gig. Sure. Probably don't need the browser anymore. And I still don't know if this thing's actually going to run. Yes. And I still don't know if this thing's actually going to run on this machine. It may see that we don't have a graphics card and just hard stop and say, nope. This may all be for naught still. And it looks like I may have to sit here and click OK and yes and all that crap for the next hour. We'll find out. I don't need to want to sign into my social club account, so hopefully it'll just do it without. Let's just see if it'll run. For Christ's sake, do you have to? I'm really starting to dislike PC gaming, guys. That's kind of why I'm documenting some of this. GTA 5 is going to force me to sign into my social club account and have an internet account just to open the freaking game. I tried to get around it, it won't let me. This is not a requirement on PlayStation. You don't have to sign into your social club account. My social club account is so old, I don't even remember the credentials anymore. New social club account created. See if GTA 5 will actually run now. Probably not. Or at least we'll see if it wants a whole bunch more updates. Guess it was the games launcher. Okay. Let me guess. Yep, awesome. Yeah, I'm going to join the crowd and say, no, that was not helpful. No, I'm not. What assholes. Oh. I'm just going to try and reinstall the launcher. No, do not remove installed game data. I'll be really unhappy if this uninstalls GTA 5. So now I'm back to my completely unnecessary mandatory download and installation. Now let's see if GTA 5 will run. What? I'm going to be really mad if trying to cancel some intrusive spyware kind of crap from Rockstar undoes like 2 hours of installing a game. Okay, well, since this is all super screwed up, this is not at all the video I was planning to make, obviously. I'm just going to put disk 1 back in the PC and see if there's like a repair installation option. Kinda don't think so. I kinda think that this is going to be me feeding disks into this thing for 3 more hours. Now, I'm going to rerun that as administrator. Yep. Okay, repair. Okay. It's maybe the quickest repair in history. Or it's going to say there's nothing wrong, and then it's still not going to work. Oh my god, really? And all because I don't want to be part of Rockstar's mandatory social media platform. Installing DirectX that didn't install properly last time. Fun. There we go. Installing Rockstar Social Club. Okay. Did it mean it? Is it actually going to do useful things? Nope, it did not do useful things. Oh my god. This is exactly like PC gaming was in 1992. I'm sure this is all my fault because most people don't just say no to everything. Everybody probably just says yes, nonstop, makes accounts, signs in, all that crap. That is not what I'm doing. Apparently that was a mistake. I do still have disk 1 in the drive, and interestingly, the drive just took off when I opened the launcher here. So maybe something good will happen? Nope. What a bag of trash. Well, I'm going to uninstall everything Rockstar, I guess, and spend another 3 hours doing this if I have to. Let me guess. Social Club can't uninstall it while GTA 5 is still installed. Yep. Which means I have to uninstall GTA 5. What a bag of trash. Before I commit to that, I'm going to try a little harder to see if I can do something else. You know, I think we're due for just a good old-fashioned reboot. It's probably not going to fix anything, but it won't hurt either. So my next option is to just 100% uninstall this game that I spent like 3 hours installing. Awesome. So that didn't help. Last ditch effort. I'm just going to delete this social club folder here. Now we're going to reboot it, and we're going to try to run the stupid launcher again and see if we can make it work. And if we can't, then I'm going to have to uninstall everything, I guess. This is almost certainly not going to work. I'm going to try a repair installation again, and maybe it will actually do it. Oh, I don't think it even knows that there's files there. Isn't that where I just put it? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Maybe I'll get lucky and it won't override all those files. Kind of don't think so. Oh, maybe. Oh, we might have a hope. This could be good. Okay. There's a prayer that I may not have screwed myself into like another 3 hours of babysitting this thing. So I've already downloaded it twice, but whatever. We'll download it again. Bet it doesn't find it again. Nice. Let's see if it runs. Awesome. I'm starting to think this isn't me. I'm starting to think this is actually a Rockstar thing, and I'm going to have to send them a ticket, which, good God, help us all. So you go to this article, and it wants you to enter, your code. I'm assuming it doesn't mean 16. I haven't tried it. Redeem code. Well, there is no activation code. This is a physical game. But what the hell? I'll try redeem code 16. How bad could it go? Yeah. Codes are formatted like this. Yeah. I wonder if there's a way I can just fix that. That might be the quicker thing to do. Hey, look at that. Hey, perfect. I read another potential solution that was interesting enough that I'll try it. It said to put it right in the GTA 5 folder, or the folder for your game. Whatever game you're working on here. And I did delete the other folders manually. If this doesn't work, I did come up with one other Hail Mary that probably also won't work. Yeah, that doesn't look promising. Nice. What a piece of trash. Okay. The other thing I'm doing is I'm copying it all over to my second drive that's in there. And we are going to try and put the installer there, which probably also won't work, but we'll try it. Okay, so I copied the GTA 5 folder over to my D drive, which is my actual hard drive. I told it to install a launcher there. I bet this also doesn't work. Also not looking good. Awesome. All right, I give up. I'm going to uninstall GTA 5 and spend 3 hours doing it again. I bet it doesn't change anything, but I'll do it anyhow. Just get rid of that. More or less out of spite. Yep. I'm going to verify that all the Rockstar folders are actually gone. Reboot it and start this whole process over again. I bet this still results in a ticket to Rockstar, and I bet that's not going to go very well either. We shall see. So here we are, we're back on disk 1, which means we're many hours later, approaching the end of this process for the second time. It'll be installing DirectX there for a little bit, then it'll probably do those C++ libraries, and then we should be back to trying the Rockstar launcher again, and it is my belief it is not going to work again. But hey, I'm going to try. So I've got a feeling by the end of the evening here, which for me, I was hoping it'd be over already, I'm going to end up submitting a ticket to Rockstar, and I'm going to guess that's not going to be a very smooth process, and this video is going to be not at all me being happy playing video games, but me being frustrated sending emails to tech support. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And here comes the mandatory social club and all that good stuff. The things that are actually causing me the grief. Okay. Don't see a big reason to download it again. But with the, let's just click all the buttons. Click all the buttons. There it's going to be for the third time. Run as administrator. And again, you can see it's been many hours since this began. We've been at this for, I think, about 8 hours now. Just not worth it. I do have to confess, too, if I'd have known I'd be forced into mandatory accounts and all this other crap, I would have just done this with Steam. Even if I had to spend a little bit more, I would have just got a Steam account and bought it there instead of buying the physical on eBay for a little less. Plus, I just like physical, but they're making it literally the wrong thing to do to own physical media. Yeah, I can buy it now. Awesome. That's going to work great. I don't want to buy it now. I already bought it. It's sitting right next to me. I'm going to guess. Yeah, no titles. Awesome. So 100% didn't work. Let's go. TA5. Yep, piece of garbage. So I'm going to start a help desk ticket with Rockstar, and we'll catch back up with this whenever I get an answer to it. So it has been a day, and Rockstar has replied to the ticket, and they've asked me for a ridiculous number of system log files from both Windows and their software. And most of this crap I've never seen before because I'm not actually a computer technician, despite how it may look to you on the channel. So it looks like this is a DirectX tool of some kind. Save all information. I mean, is it actually gonna say there's a problem? I'm just curious. No. 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 Okay, well, whatever. And that is what Rockstar has requested I save it as, so that works. Guess we're done there. Next up, that one. Okay, so just system information. They would just want me to export all my system information. I mean, so far, none of this is ridiculous, but I mean, other than the fact that we have to do this at all. But it is frustrating, especially since I'll be very surprised if there's actually anything wrong with the computer that's causing this, and it isn't just their terrible software. Okay, so we're done here. Now, the Rockstar log files, and maybe I can head them off the pass if their log files are worth anything. Maybe I can see what's going on. So they want launcher.log out of here. Yeah, nothing that's terribly helpful for me. Just more insane amounts of system information for them. Error, can't do this. Yeah, okay, fine. So I'm going to copy that guy to my desktop as well. Apparently there's also supposed to be a pre-launcher log, which there is right here. Okay then, same story. And they're also requesting any screen grabs or cell phone pictures or anything else of the error screens that you're seeing. So I typed all this out in the help desk ticket already, but whatever. Since I'm here, we'll just call that error. Okay, time for me to send all this crap to Rockstar and probably wait another entire day to hear back from them. Good times. And this nightmare with Rockstar went on for, let's see, 2 days. It would take 1 to 2 days for them each time to reply to each request. And the ultimate result of that was determining that you must have an activation code even for a physical set of software. So the disks mean nothing, absolutely nothing. And I will show you on the back of the box where it even says that, but why would I read the back of the box for a set of disks that I just bought? Registration required via internet. Registration is limited to 1 Rockstar Social Club account per serial code. Only 1 PC login allowed per Social Club account at any time. Serial codes are non-transferable, blah, 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 blah. Here, Andy F. is finally explaining it to me. And you saw through all the error messages and everything, it wasn't abundantly clear what was going on. You know, it wasn't telling me, hey, we found the game, but you need an activation code. Just super cryptic messages. Another issue that looks like what's going on is their stupid Social Club application launcher BS. Was not actually a thing when GTA 5 was originally released. So as I was trying to Google search and find solutions to my issue, I kept finding stuff from back then and people complaining about it and them not getting their stuff to work just because it didn't work, not because they didn't have an access code. So they were getting the same messages I was, but for completely different reasons. So this is all just a huge disaster, and this is why I don't PC game. Let's try this now that I have an activation code. Anyway, and if you are curious, the eBay seller I bought this from was really cool about it. This, yeah, no problem, just send it back. Now I'm going to redeem my code, and I'm halfway tempted to show it to you guys because it totally shouldn't even matter because it's not reusable. I'm wondering what happens when you install it on another PC, because you do still own it, right? Or does it say right on the box you can't do that? But it does. It kind of does. I don't know, whatever. I'm probably not going to screw with it if it screws me over again. So this is the part where I enter my code. Okay, so this is telling me it's attached to the Social Club account associated with my, my YouTube channel, which is fine with me. Okay, install now. It's already installed. I'm going to be really pissed if after all that I have to download it all again too. I'm going to close this, and I'm just going to try and run the game itself and see if it gives me that stupid Social Club warning again, which I bet it does. Yep. What a friggin' nightmare. Let me see if it's still here. Did I delete it? It's been like a week for me, so I don't remember. No, it's still here. Hopefully it just notices that, I guess. I think it does notice it. There's no way it'd be downloading that fast. My internet's nowhere near that good. But from what it was telling me about that 90 gig file size, it's going to download about 40 gigs worth of updates before it even goes. If you're wondering why I bought this physical a second time, it was to hopefully avoid this problem. I was hoping that 2 physical release installation disks would work with a similar key. And I'm thinking it's looking like that worked out. And I think physical actually was still a couple bucks cheaper. And I still like physical stuff, even if this is just a worthless pile of plastic. Literally does nothing for me now. And now it's going to download updates until the end of time. That is much more reflective of my internet speed. However, actually that's way faster than usual. Anyway, we'll catch back up in 2 hours. And if you're keeping track, if this had gone completely my way the first time, like if I wasn't an idiot / Rockstar wasn't screwing their customers, this would take 5 hours to install. For reference, RDR2 on launch day installed faster than that. Also off of physical, but still, what a complete nightmare. Holy crap, I think we can finally play our video game now after messing around with it for like a week. Anyhow, until a couple days ago, that was the newest Rockstar game I had bought. This is a physical edition of the PS4 copy of RDR2, the Ultimate Edition. So this was like a pre-order. But all I had to do to run that guy was put it in, let it install, granted for a long time, like several hours, because this game is like 90 gigs, and then just run. The disclaimers down here on the back of the box are online features can be ended at any time, online content is not subject to warranty, Sony doesn't, blah, 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 blah. But this game does not require an internet connection to install or play, and I don't think you need in fact, I know you don't need a social club account to run it because I never signed into a social club account on my PS4. I haven't looked at the social club in ages. I had to make a new social club account just for this. So I know everything is moving this way, that we've got maybe just a few years left before you don't actually own anything you buy, because that seems to be what everyone wants. That way you end up in traps just like this, where you got to buy the crap over and over and over again. But for now, I don't believe most consoles, or at least Sony, has been pretty good about, in my opinion, gamers' rights and gamers' property rights. And when they sell you a game for their console, you actually own the game. So I will continue to be PlayStation Master Race until that situation changes. I'm sure my days are numbered. Maybe PS5, it's already here, but I don't like it. I don't want to support it unless I have to. I'm not even going to pretend that I'm not going to buy Rockstar games though, because literally every one of my favorite video games is a Rockstar game. So, and they know that too. That's why they can get away with crap like this. But in a really huge nutshell, this is why I stopped PC gaming back about 2000 or 2001. Some part of that was also, not so much because of publishers hosing gamers over, but just crap like this. It took me days to figure out what the actual issue was here. Whether or not that's my stupidity or that's on them, you can assign it either way, but it's just not a problem I need to deal with. The other thing that soured me on it was for a period of about 2 weeks, I owned the fastest video card on the market, and the next iteration of cards after that. So actually, I think this might have been like 1998, 1999. Were the Voodoo cards. So the 3D accelerator cards came out like a couple weeks after I bought the prior fastest card on the market, which at that time was $300, which would be akin to like what a 3080 would cost today, like $1,000-ish, probably, if you could find one to buy. So I had my brand new expensive video card, and then every game that came out after it, the card didn't support. And I was just pissed off. And that is when I bought my first PlayStation and never looked back until today, which now I'm kind of regretting looking back. The good news about all that is this guy is not a gaming PC, and pretty much no amount of anything you're going to do to one of these, within any kind of reason, is going to turn it into a gaming PC. And this is the first PC I've bought new since the late 90s. I've built a couple in that time, but I haven't bought and assembled one in like 20 years. There will be some PC gaming coming from this thing, or coming from an evolution of this thing. I'm not letting this experience totally talk me out of it just yet, because there are some PC exclusive things I want to do, but I'm not a fan at all of how this is going. If you sat through this entirely convoluted and super frustrating video where I just ranted for 10 minutes at the end of it, I salute you and thank you for stopping in, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm Max East Addington Bear, and if you liked that video, hey, like the video. If you'd like to watch some more of them, here's some more for you. And if you want to come back and watch more, always consider becoming a subscriber. And we'd like to thank you once again from the bottom of both our hearts for stopping in.